Hey there, this is Rox. Got some good news. A Wyoming welder faces $16 million in fines, beats EPA in battle over stock pond. A Wyoming man threatened with $16 million in fines over a building of a stock pond reached a settlement with the Environmental Protection Agency, allowing him to keep the pond without a federal permit or hefty fines. Andy Johnson of Wyoming obtained a state permit before building the stock pond in 2012 on his sprawling 9-acre farm for a small herd of livestock. Not after Not long after construction, the EPA threatened Johnson with civil and criminal penalties, including the threat of a $37,500 a day fine, claiming he needed the agency's permission before building the 40 by 300-foot pond, which is filled with a natural stream. Johnson constructed his stock pond in 2012. It was very threatening. Johnson, a professional welder and married father of four, said the EPA compliance order against him. I was shocked and devastated, and I didn't know what to do. I'm sitting there thinking, I'm the only provider for my whole family. How do I fight this? Johnson's lawyer announced that the federal government agreed to resolve the case and in federal court has approved. Under the settlement, Johnson's pond will remain and he won't pay any fines or concede any federal jurisdiction to regulate the pond, and the government won't pursue any further enforcement actions based on the pond's construction. The only condition, according to Johnson's lawyer, are that willow trees be planted around the pond and a partial fence installed to control livestock. This is a victory for common sense and the environment, and to bring an end to the uncertainty of fear that the Johnson family faced. A staff attorney with Pacific Legal Foundation who represented Andy Johnson in his court challenge to the EPA and in the negotiating the settlement. The EPA never identified any environmental problems with the pond. In fact, it's been a boom for the environment. An EPA spokesperson was not immediately available for comment. The government had said Johnson violated Clean Water Act by building a dam on the creek without a permit from the Army Corps of Engineers and claimed material from the pond was being discharged into the waterways. As the EPA was demanding the pond to be ripped out, Ray Cagel, a former federal regulator, claimed it was a benefit to the environment and created wetlands habitat for fish and wildlife and cleaned the water that passes through. Woods said that the EPA has a broad interpretation of the Clean Water Act and noted that the federal government clearly exempts stock ponds from the rules of the agency. Under Supreme Court procedure, the federal government can regulate waters only if they have a significant nexus to navigate waters. Johnson's pond drains to a man-made irrigation ditch where the water is issued for irrigation according to the Pacific Legal Foundation. The only thing he has to do is plant willows around the pond and put in partial fence to control livestock. The irony of this case is the government has insisted all along this isn't a stock pond. Over the last 4 years, the pond has served as a safe and easy, accessible water supply for his Angus steers and horses. It also becomes a natural home for various fish, including brook and brown trout and regular stop for waterfowl and moose. Johnson said he hopes his legal case will give hope to others who might face similar battles in the future. This is a huge victory for us as well as private property owners across the country. The next family that finds itself in this situation, being threatened by EPA, can take heart in knowing that many of these threats will not come to pass. He said, if like us, you stand up to the overreaching bureaucrats that may very well back down. There you have it. I'm glad somebody finally got some satisfaction